Welcome to land development.
Hey.
It's land development time.
Let's do it.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, welcome. We're gonna learn how to evaluate a 3 to 4 subdivided townhouse lot in an urban suburban setting, and that's gonna empower you guys to be able to be smarter, more accurate, and also get 3 transactions on the back end with listings along with the sale on the front end. Boom, that's what we're gonna jump into and learn today. With that said, 192 West Englewood Ave. This is a wonderful lot in Englewood, New Jersey. We are gonna go right here into
So it's R like Robert, like Melly,
the schematics.
for Larry, S for Sam. Okay, RMLS, and then what's the rest of it? Okay.
Okay. Now, this property has a zoning that's an NE or an NC zone, which allows you for a number of different uses. Our targeted use here, based on that, would be a residential use. We're looking at somewhere that's 4 units or under. So configuratively, what we see right now in this marketplace is that the townhouses are gonna be nudging over where we're seeing multifamilies, depending on the area and depending on the unit count. So for this seller, for us to turn dirt to dollars, we're gonna use the townhouse formula and what that looks like for 3 townhouses, maybe 4, maybe 2. Let's find out what the widths are, because that's gonna be one of the biggest things. So this lot right here is roughly, Adam, what do we got width and length here?
How long?
The frontage is 86.32 feet.
All right, so guys, this right here is 86 feet, and we've got 92 feet right here, right?
Yeah, on that right side, yeah.
Okay, am I accurate?
Yeah, and then just put the street at the bottom, I would recommend, yeah.
Yep.
Street.
Okay. Does that look pretty good?
Yeah, that looks, yeah, roughly 93 on that right side, but
So when we're taking this and we're saying, what's the biggest and baddest use of this property? What we've got is isolated between multifamily, townhouse, mixed-use product, all these different uses, an office building, et cetera. But what we see here is we're going for residential use, 3 townhouses, and why? What we wanna do is understand the bulk ordinances in the town. So here's a snapshot on what we're gonna do to build the building envelope of what this looks like. A building envelope is gonna be considered your max building footprint. That looks something like this. Adam, can you pull up the Englewood, New Jersey front, rear, and side setbacks for us on this property? Welcome, guys. We're evaluating a 3-lot subdivision or 4-lot subdivision in Englewood, New Jersey. This property is active right now. We're gearing towards selling it. Adam's got the information on the screen here to help us out. So as we go through, this property is an 86 and a 92-foot frontage. What we know is townhouses typically have 18 to maybe 30-foot wide frontages. So what does that look like here? If we've got 86 feet, how can we build a building envelope and then see what the product would be best fitting there? So Adam, can you pull up, what's our side setbacks here?
yeah, I'm just checking for the zoning here.
Okay, so it's NE or NC zone. It's also got a residential. So this is a property, it's got an overlay. So in towns, they have what's called overlays. Overlays are gonna be a different zone that's not the same zone as it was. So think back in the 70s or 80s, maybe it was a little different than now. So the governments come in, they've overlaid zones to say, we need housing. That housing is gonna be what we then bring into the neighborhood, bring into affordables, bring it into more of a macro level. And that's what we're gonna explore right now. So
yeah, I got 25 feet on the front
okay, so that means that we gotta go 25 feet that way, guys,
before you could like build
before we can
anything.
go. Okay, what do we got next?
And then the side setbacks are 7 feet.
So sides are 7. Maybe we can argue a point that we can get to 5, guys. Okay, just as a heads up. So 7 feet. Next up.
And then 30 feet on the rear setback.
Okay, so this is what the town is suggesting to us is what their standard bulk ordinances are. What
I'm
we're
sorry,
gonna
this is
do.
corner land or?
This is an inlaid lot where we have it right here. Okay. So you'll see it here. This is the lot, West Englewood Ave. This is the frontage. We're building the building on it. So now when we have this, what we have is a footprint. Adam, let's do a rundown
But just make sure the lot, or just make sure that these are accurate, cause this one's 90, yeah, just make sure you get these two,
We're gonna take it roughly this amount, so. we'll
alright,
see
yeah,
what
that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, you could get like a little bit more, but yeah.
Appreciate you sharing that. Let's go through and just use this as an example of what we're taking, just from the NJ property records. These property records are available for everybody, so make sure that you're jumping in. If you have an MLS, it's free. Okay. So as we go through here, what we're gonna do is understand what the envelope is, okay? So 7 and 7 is what, 14 feet? So Adam, do 86 minus 14, that's gonna be 72, okay? So we know that this right here is roughly 72 feet, okay? Based on what we have. Now let's do the rear and the back, 25, 30, that's 55 feet. Our lot's 92 feet, okay? So what does that leave us? Roughly what, 47 feet?
Yep, roughly.
Is that accurate? So
Or
47
no,
feet.
actually,
What is the exact amount?
well, it's 86.
No, you got 92 minus 55.
Oh, yeah, 92 minus 55, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, are we 47?
37.
37, okay. Look at that. Wasn't really overthinking. So 37, so we would argue that these are gonna be basically a 72 by 37 footprint, right out the gate. That's what we have. So 72, if we know that most townhouse product is roughly, let's say 20 to 30 feet, how many times does 72 go into that, where we can make it a formula that's 4 units or under, and it has a footage that makes sense? My argument would be roughly, if we had 24, 48, 60, 72, 24-foot frontages would probably work best with 3.
Yeah.
So let's look at this and go through this and say, okay, so now we have lot 1, 2, 3, we have our setbacks for our buy box. We now know that these are roughly 24 feet
Yeah.
by, 37. So do 24 by 37, Adam, please.
888 square feet.
Okay, so these are 888 square feet of footprints.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's one floor, yes?
that's 1 floor. 3 floors, 2,664 square feet.
But 3 floors uncomfortable. No?
We'll address that shortly. What we're gonna go through is go through this, and then we'll open it up questions, et cetera, as we go. I want everyone to understand what the breakdown is and how we go through this. So when we understand that we're building roughly 2,600 square foot townhouses each, we have 3 of them. Now we have to understand, okay, if this is possible, how do we figure out what the price is, right? So let's start talking economics. So residential market trends. Alright, so what we need to do right out the gate is find out what is the price per square foot of what the neighborhood is selling for. So if you guys understand what that is, you'll understand we're gonna use this square footage as a price per square foot to evaluate. This is the logic and everything, and this is how we actually bring it soup to nuts. Adam, let's run through residential market trends in Englewood, show roughly what? Price per square foot, sold comps. If you want, go into NAR RPR.
Yeah, I don't know if I have login on that on here.
Good call. All right.
So I was just gonna bank on chat for this.
Okay, don't even worry about it. I know the market trends.
Okay,
So
cool.
roughly right now, it's 340 to 370 a foot. Okay, so if we have a new construction, we put 15% above that. So write that down, guys, 15% above for new construction. If we're at, let's say, 365 a foot, let's put 15% on top of that. So roughly, let's say 4 to 420 a foot. Okay, so if we have 400, 420 per square foot. Now, each townhouse at 2664 square foot times, let's just do $400 a foot. What's the answer on this one, guys?
355.
Million and
No.
No, it's a.
What is it?
million and one, maybe.
Million one? Who did the math on this?
No, it's $1,065,000.
So a million 65.
Million 65,600.
Maximum million one.
Million one is the max, okay. Yeah. All right, appreciate the help, guys, on everything that we have. So 1,065,000 to 1,000,001. So this is exactly where our numbers are gonna start coming from. This, now, we have 3 of these. I'd say that you argue that maybe this unit is a little bit less desirable, doesn't have the windows on the sides, right? Would anyone else disagree with that?
No, yeah, it's centered between the 2 units.
So are we all on the same?
Sorry, I come later, and, what's the
Yeah.
price of land?
Oh, the price of the land, we're getting to, we
No,
work
no, no,
backwards.
what they are selling for right now, you said.
I understand the question.
I didn't see
We're gonna
that.
work it backwards, because we're gonna get to what the price of the land is based on what this is. So think we deconstruct the development. Don't worry about the price, worry about what the max is that you can pay, and then you have a price that you can situate. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. So as we go through here, we have 1,065,000 to 1,000,001. These townhouses, all day, will hit that figure. So 1,1, let's do 1,1 times 3, you're at 3.3 million for our sellout. In this marketplace, townhouses should expect with a slab build, which means a concrete slab with wood frame above, roughly 175 a foot. So let's argue.
175?
Yeah. 175 a foot in this area.
Is renovation?
No, this is gonna be ground up, slab build,
Oh, okay.
stick frame above. So per square foot, and then we have roughly, of this square footage, there's roughly 400 square foot of garage space, mechanical rooms. So we're gonna minus that, because you're not gonna have a finish level that's appropriate for that. So this is how dissecting it's gonna be. So minus 400 from that, let's say 2264 is actually the finish level. And what's the number that we have here? So 396.2. Times 3. 11888 600. Okay. We all on the same page?
Yes, yes.
Everybody good? Okay. As you see this now, this is gonna be built. We have outside value. So now let's start doing what we're gonna minus. And these are rough rule of thumb numbers, okay? We're gonna have that. That's gonna be now, what's the number underneath here?
2,111,400.
2,111,400.
Yeah.
Yes, renovation.
Okay. Now, this is just the cost of the construction. This doesn't account for the acquisition cost, and what you guys are suggesting, along with the whole cost, or the debt financing. Maybe you take a loan out, you pay 50%, and you buy the property, 50% of its equity in the bank, and then they lend you 80 or 90% or 100% of the finance for the construction. Depends on your bank, depends on the situation, they all vary, so it could be anything of the sort there. But what I will say is that you're gonna start understanding what you can pay now. So as we go through holding costs and you go through sale costs of what this is, you're gonna start understanding that we have to know.
And what time need to construct?
Yeah.
How long it takes?
Well, that's the whole thing. We usually do it about, on townhouses, 1 year to 16 months. So, year and a half
Is
of financing
renovation?
difference. What's up?
Is renovation?
Or construction only?
No, construction loan. If you acquire it, you get a construction loan you're building. And again, not doing the dissected spreadsheet where we have every little bit of number. This is rule of thumb, so that you can start seeing, is it worth going to that level of kind of optics where you view it in, does it make sense? Okay. So we have this, roughly with what we're talking about from this on the 3.3, we're gonna minus that. We're also gonna minus roughly 6%, just a general rule of thumb, on where we are with regards to that. So, Adam, can we do 3.3 minus 6%?
6% is very low.
So 198,000, so we're just gonna minus that as well. Okay. So we have 2 Okay, that leaves you 1,009,134. Okay. So, this is basically what we have left over to purchase the property and get profit. Okay? This is where we're describing what we can pay for the property based on our risk level. Somebody's gonna be different. What I've learned and my research has shown in selling these approved plans for 10 years and going in front is every single builder builds them different. And every single builder has a different way to go about it, and they all have products that are different, and everyone has a different opinion towards the same thing, which is just a finished product. So if you have a different formula and you're going through that, that's fine. Just get the big numbers and the big rocks out of the way, because this way you can evaluate on whether it's worth it. So now, at this price, we're asking on this property, $750,000, okay? How do we get back to this, and how do we equate for profit holding costs? Well, when we start looking at this figure and we start getting here, I'd argue that you're gonna do minus 15% for your risk factor loss.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Risk factor loss.
Risk.
Ah.
If the world blows up, are you still okay? You have to know it as a developer. If the market turns next week and the debts go to 7 and you go to sell immediately, what's your risk factor? It's typically 15%. So when you look at this, you're at 1,626, and again, this is a temperature check to just see if the property's there, and I can do this in 10 minutes. It's whether or not it's worth it to continue onward to actually get to a finance sheet. So as we go through this, we have $1,600,000 to play with. On this, we have now covered our sale price, our construction, our in, and our holding costs. That then would equate to roughly 1,626 minus our 750. In terms of that, that's gonna be
9,974.
God bless you. So we've got
What is that?
the difference in the monies between the two.
No, it's billions, it's
So, oh, no, sorry, let me get this wrong.
it's 900.
Yeah, you're accurate, sorry, well, I just so we've got 1,626,390 minus the 750. Let's get this calculator small. Somebody do the math.
1,626, yes?
Millions,
No.
Zero, what is there, 1,626 or 36?
I can't use this calculator, here's my.
What's written up
What's
there?
written?
Phones are
Oh,
cool.
1,626,390, do that minus 750.
You keep my phone.
Thank you.
877,
877?
yes.
Okay. That's probably gonna be somewhere around where you land, if this is what's expired.
Oh, Galemo people.
What about renovation? It's a construction only, right, wherever you come?
This is a new construction. Think of it as there's a piece of land, and you're just gonna go on it and build.
This price includes a kitchen, everything included.
What do you mean by that?
Like, the
All the appliances, she said.
appliance,
Yeah, discounts for everything.
That's
170.
1,000,000 and 188. Includes construction, renovation, bathrooms, kitchen, everything.
Everything.
Very good.
Think a slab build. You're building a slab.
And
You're
if you
in-
have
you're in
cash,
Englewood.
you win a bank process also, yes.
Bank loan, like interest, you're
Everything.
not,
We
you're
have-
gonna deduct that as well.
200,000 within, eat up costs, and then we did the parachute right here, which accounts for everything that's in between, soft costs, in terms of construction drawings, your mechanicals, your electrical plumbings, all the soft costs
This
associated with
project is
property.
approval.
It's as of right, that's why we're doing it. So as of right, you can go there, it's an NENC zone.
We don't know what that means.
So think of it as a mixed-use product. You can put a variable product, because the town's saying it's a corridor. we wanna see something grow, but you gotta meet somewhere within our plans.
No, what he's asking, if that project is already approved for construction, if there is a, like, not only land.
If I buy today, when I can start construction?
You have to get your permits, you have to go through the
That's what
plans, you have to go to the planning board, you probably be
It's
within,
been
let's say,
maybe
six
eight
months, 9 months.
8 months.
Yeah, probably, pretty accurate.
Yes, but there is not, you know, the mayors, city halls too, there are no problems or some.
It depends, so what you're talking about, and this is the difference between approved and unapproved.
Yes.
Approved plans are unappealable approved plans that you can transfer to a new owner or applicant, and then they can do resolution compliance. Resolution compliance is once you have a resolution with a town, which is a memorialized document that states your approved plans and your intentions. You get a resolution and then compliance is in order on how you have to go through the compliance to get the permits to then build. And that's exactly where a lot of people get caught up. So
But
understanding.
this one has it or no?
This one you have to go
This
through the
property.
process, as just explained. This one does not, so if you buy it, you have to then put the money towards that, which is what we accounted for.
For example, I
He is
I
like
may-
looking
I
at
never
investor
say this to
side,
you. I-
so.
Yeah, this, if you wanna build this is roughly what it is, we have this outlined in a very professional format, Adam and I'd be happy to
Yes,
show
but
it.
for example, 3 months ago, I want to buy some land, which have approval, construction
Permit?
permit. I must buy for 2.5 million.
Approved plans?
Yes, approved land, yes.
Okay, fair.
There
Sounds like
was
a
a
good project.
condominium, maybe 14 condo.
Okay.
Yes, but everything approved, everything good, I make the lawyer, I make the
Offer
team
everything.
to make history of this land, and I see after 1 month, there is a Sasamachunda
Lawsuit on that land, and that's what he's saying, like. this
There was
kind of land-
lawsuit.
Are you asking me a general question or specific on your
No,
property?
he's asking
or
about this,
interest? I'm trying to
like,
understand.
general question about this property. He's wondering, like, if I buy this land and if I try to start
So
paperwork
this
and then
specific
comes.
land.
Yeah,
Are we talking-
and
okay,
if something
okay.
comes up like he has experienced before, you know, like he already was buying that land with condominium, and after 1 month, with the paperwork, he find out that there was a lawsuit. So what he's asking, like, okay, everything looks
You're
good.
talking about
I
due
buy-
diligence items. So what happens when you purchase a property in our area is that you get due diligence. Due diligence allows you to peek under the hood. You do a title report, you do a geotech report, maybe even a survey. You size up this property to see whether it's investable in terms of the development that you seek. That's what you wanna build in.
Is this
If this project not for approval, you don't write here approval costs and architecture costs.
No, you have the approval costs in there.
Where?
I put them right here. Your risk.
I read.
Your risk. You put money out. You don't get the money back for your approvals. That's your risk. That's the money that's up in the air that you have to put out. That's where you deduct it from.
And did you seek approval means,
That much money?
much money?
Absolutely, some more, some less, but if you save money and this is accurate and this still works, you got a great investment, you made more money than you thought.
It will
Usually
bonus
people don't
if
get
you-
upset when they make
yes.
more. They do get upset when they make
And
more.
it's this property, listing property on the Zillow and everywhere, or it's?
This is listed actively from ERG right now out there. We had a buyer, the buyer didn't perform, a horrible buyer that just, at the end of it, didn't know what they were doing. So now it's a new opportunity for somebody like yourself.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's right here. We just put it back on the market.
So, that's a 1.6 or that's a 600, the risk cost.
So the costs on this we have built in as upwards of a max of roughly 300 grand. That's an over and abundance, and you don't need nearly as much. But if you did that and it worked, everything else is gravy. What I would suggest is that you understand these costs better. And that's gonna be the difference of getting something approved or not. That's where you're gonna see that. You're gonna have to put risk cost out. That's why I label it like that, because it's a risk. You don't know whether or not it works or doesn't. That's gonna be somebody putting their hard-earned cash out to pay the professional, the architect at night that's staying late, the engineers that need to get the draft plans in, and the surveyor that's out in the freezing cold trying to get these surveys done while your property's there. Thank you, guys. We appreciate all the pushes. This is how it's works. So, again, if these numbers roughly work, and you can say, okay,
But there is a
the
time,
project could be
time
roughly.
risk also.
Well, your time's accounted for it, but this is gonna be over a continuum of 12 to 16 months. Minimum 12, probably max 16 months. If you took 2 years and you formulated it, you'd be fine. If you knew what you're doing and you
For
actually.
example, you have general constructor also, or not?
I'm very familiar with construction. I'm very familiar with
Yes.
construction. What would be the question I can help you out with? Construction costs. I wouldn't wanna spend more than 175 or 200 a foot here, cause you don't get it on the back end. But maybe in Tenafly, you spend 400 a foot. Just depends on your area. You have to be relative. Maybe in other areas that are even less socioeconomics, I wouldn't even put 175, maybe do it 125. Well, the area dictates where your product level goes, so I don't worry about it, and neither should you. If you go in these areas and you know what product is gonna be delivered, you don't build the Taj Mahal in a town that doesn't want it. This is just simple townhouses, some attractive modern design, stainless steel appliances, maybe quartz countertops, engineered wood flooring, powder bathroom, full bathroom, maybe the master has a glass, maybe the other guests have the that's what I'm talking about. No bells and whistles, nothing crazy, but the price per square foot would dictate that if we can get you about $1 million on each, you stand to make a pretty good profit. They're easy and they're affordable to build, which is why people are gravitating towards them. So instead of building a podium where you have to have decking below and all of these extra costs, you eliminate that and you just put 3 townhouses right there on slab grade.
So to build the three townhouses is 1.1.
For right here, it's not 1.1, it's almost 1.2 really.
1.2.
You know, now again, if you wanted parachute on
And
this,
produce 50% risk also. the-
plus 15%, just to your point, plus 15% as an error.
You don't buy that.
Maybe you just, you
And plus later
know,
on
okay,
net price.
you know what, it's 118, but actually I'm gonna increase that to 1.325 to be safe. Does it
You
work
need
there?
minimum 2 million to make this.
2 million, and then, so your profit would be like 877, correct? Like
Just
about-
based on these numbers roughly, you know, you make a $500,000 to $1 million, depending on how efficient you are, build possibilities and things like that for speed. You know, some might make less, if it takes you 3-4 years, the holding cost on this could eat you up, maybe you only make 400 grand. Or maybe the project doesn't hit right and you didn't do it good and you don't make any money. I mean, these are all possibilities in all of our situations, which is why some developers knock it out of the park.
And when you make the same project, how much is down payment in that?
It depends on each one.
20%?
That's a seller decision.
20% maybe.
Maybe, maybe not.
But you cannot buy with finance blend, yes?
No, you can do whatever you want. If my
Okay.
uncle is super wealthy and he wants to write a check to me tomorrow for cash.
Mortgage,
I
you
can
can do,
that. But if you're talking banking, but not everyone does banking in this. A lot of private credit, a lot of private capital, private equities involved.
Hard money you can do?
Hard money, you know what I mean? So yeah, you can get a bank loan, but not everyone does bank loans. You know, it's just a creative way of financing. We see it all the time. We do a lot of seller finance deals too. It's like having an annuity. Imagine you had a property, you sold it for a couple $1 million more, and this buyer took paper, paid you for the next 5 years. What does that look like? That could be a situation where we have a seller that sells, and we've done this, where you just get money each month. It's like an annuity. So every seller is different, but to your point, think case by case. If I can work something that's more favorable, I'm in the clear. But know the standards of the way to transact so that you don't become somebody that we don't want to deal with. Because if you're so unfavorable and only one-sided to the way that you see it, you'll never see the elephant as a whole. What we're trying to do is see the entire elephant and see what the best fit is and if it works. And our goal is seeking truth and accuracy. That's it. I don't want to be right. Adam, how do we talk about it all the time? I don't care if I'm right. I just care if it's
Yes,
truthful and accurate.
and
So if we can get to accuracy here, then you can make a decision on whether or not it fits your investment goals.
So is that
Fair
what
enough.
happened, is that what happened with the buyer of this one before, like they just didn't see like the whole picture?
No, they were a bad buyer.
I think we
We should have never been in contract with them. I I sniffed it right from the beginning, kind of threw some wind in it, but they were performing certain things. Ultimately, they went past the due diligence phase and then didn't close on the property, which is a very rare opportunity that happens. Very low percentage, hundreds of transactions, very rare, maybe less than a handful over 1,000.
And we're looking for today, for us, townhouse to buy here for Englewood.
Okay.
$1,001 is
So you're
very
asking
low.
all the questions because you want.
Very
Yeah,
low
I get it.
price.
I
You
see.
cannot buy $1,001 new construction.
This is a simple one. I could review with you off camera and go through this with you and just understand.
Minimum
the
normal
numbers.
price is $1,200,000.
But we have a product, this is similar product to what we're developing right now, we have in motion, so we're familiar with it, we're familiar with how to get it done, et cetera. So we'll share that with you if it checks the boxes. Love to look. Seem like a nice guy, informative, and also inquisitive here towards this.
We see it.
We also have Fort Lee too, we can share.
Yeah, we can talk about Fort Lee.
So the land is 750.
Yeah, land's asking $750. So when you look at this, you start saying to yourself, if these numbers are truthful, then this should be roughly where we're at. Now, if you have some other wild costs and you put some other additional costs, rooftops, you put a $100,000 kitchen in, you do things that are different, well, you're gonna get different results.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen builders come in an area, do knock it out of the product, like knock it out of the wall product, and they got the numbers. You know, I've seen certain developers where it's like, holy crap, how did they get $500,000 more than everyone else? Then they put new product in and they weren't a pioneer, they got it. And then other people you'll see immediately jump in and do the same thing that they did. They copy them immediately. And they try to do as quickly as they could. Just watch in real life, all the new constructions. We literally see the copied versions of each other on many of them, and then you see one or two builders that stand out. It's out there. It's good. It's a model that you repeat and you rinse. I have nothing against it. I actually enjoy it. I think it's favorable for our marketplace, and you'll see the trends change. You go into the MLS and you see the 80s house builds, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s. You'll see all the builders they design because it's the product that the communities want.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. So, again, all good things. I don't look at it good, bad, or indifferent. I look at it as how do we fit in? How do I get my part, my unfair share of what this looks like? So, as you guys should too. So, value today, we got 192, we've got a 3 townhouse subdivision. What we did today is understand how to buy that envelope building block, step 1. What does that look like? So we've got a footprint of what to go around. The second would be is understanding what would be the best footprint for each based on townhouses, 20 to 30 feet. We isolated 24 as the way to go here. Once we understood that, we started looking at what does it cost to build. We did general numbers on what that cost is. And we started diving into what they would sell as a finished product. And as a finished product, we got to numbers now to be able to evaluate. Now always remember, path's in the math. Path is in the math. Why do I say that? Because I'm a logic guy when it comes to any of this. I really don't care about any emotion of this. I love these things and passionate. If these things don't check out, I don't care how nice this building is, it doesn't work. So when we isolated the figures, we started minusing numbers. What is it gonna cost us? How much is it gonna cost us to get the project approved, the plans ready, and the shovels in the ground? Then we reviewed and understood how much time it took. Year and a half, 2 years, and built in some benchmarks just to isolate what that debt looks like. And ultimately, we have some exit costs. The exit costs that we take in here are gonna be negotiated. If you wanna take in total on where that is, we can take our total number, but those are gonna be exiting costs on a broker fee. So if you didn't sell it, you'd refinance and you wouldn't have those expenses. So, what do we have? We have a leftover profit. We have a quick 15-minute way to evaluate a property and see, does it work, does it not? And you can directly employ this into your business. Or if you're a developer, make it yourself. You don't need a fancy spreadsheet, and you sure as heck can use some napkin language just to see if it makes sense. Thanks for chapping it in and chiming in today with us. We're gonna be back next time educating and making sure that everybody understands these land developments in northern New Jersey. Like, subscribe below, contact us anytime you need to co-broke or land development opportunity comes your way. Thanks, guys.